one more for the road trip before we have our next home game next week. We head to Dallas to take on FC Dallas. This is a preview. We'll get into more of the details. Let's get started. Good morning, RSL Nation. It's your favorite sports maniac and RSL fan, Gabino, and we are going to discuss our last game of the 3-game road trip. And we've already played FC Dallas back in March, and we'll play them one more time, maybe one more time today, as if RSL does make the playoffs, then there's a chance we could play them again. But for now, we are going to preview everything that's going to go down tonight at Toyota Stadium. So let's get into the details. Sit back, subscribe if you're new. Let's get started. We will roll it back to the last meeting between the two back in March of this year. Other than the Ari Pule red card and Rafa Cabrad's big save and Luciano Acosta missed the penalty, Luciano Acosta did score the only goal of the game towards first half stoppage time. It was poorly defended by RSL, and Luciano Acosta just finds the header in, and that one goal is all that FC Dallas needed to get the 3 points on the road. And knowing that Dallas was struggling at the time, they're actually finding their shape and their rhythm now, so a little nervous heading into tonight, but it all depends on how the team does. All depends how RSL does, but only the future can tell what's going on. That's the last matchup between the two. And here are two players that will be available that RSL will need to keep an eye on. I'm going to have to give Pedrinho the eye on. He can be very deadly on the attacking side for FC Dallas, so RSL's defense needs to be aware of what is to come for Pedrinho. He scored a goal against Inter Miami this month, and he can pull a lot out of his hat at this point. And then my second player will be Luciano Acosta, because that man can't stop scoring. Literally, give the ball to him, and he'll find his magic, and he'll find his way to find the back of the net against opposing teams. He can do that in MLS. He did that in the U.S. Open Cup during the midweek, so a lot to look forward. So Pedrinho and Lucho, keep an eye on those guys. FC Dallas, two players. Here are my two players that you guys need to keep an eye on. And I gotta point out Moon Man again, Diego Luna. He is looking incredible. He's finding his form in the last few games. He's been finding goals. He's been finding the right moments to make magic happen for Real Salt Lake. He got a goal last week against Vancouver, but it wasn't enough to get us a win last week. But still, Luna is an absolute killer. You must keep an eye on. And the second player that I don't talk much of, he's been getting starts for Pablo Mastroeni, I think the last two. You might as well start him again, Javier Gosso. I have been loving the way that he has been playing. Making great passes, dribbling the ball, good crosses. He finds opportunities, but he has yet to find the back of the net. So I expect him to get a goal sometime soon, and sooner is better than never. So those are my two players that you got to keep an eye on. Before I do the Western Conference standings, right on the side of me is the injury report and availability report. Matthew Bell and Zach McMath remain out. Javane Brown remains out. Philip Quinton has been recently added to the list. He will be ruled out for a few weeks with a hamstring issue. Brian Vera still remains questionable after his head injury he picked up against San Diego FC. But it's good to see that Kobe Henry's listed as questionable, so he's close to being fully recovered. And now for the disciplinary side of things. So apparently, if Justin Webb gets a yellow card tonight, he will be suspended for next Saturday's game against the Portland Timbers back at home. And Alex Catranis and Brian Ojeda are 2 yellow cards away from receiving a yellow card accumulation suspension. So definitely the things that players need to be a little more cautious. Players coming back from injury. We got a mixture of emotions going on, but it all depends on how the teams do. It all depends on how we do. If we lose the players or not, and we get our players back or not. And hopefully we can see a Johnny Russell debut this weekend as well. Now we go to the Western Conference standings. FC Dallas just hanging on by quite a bit. They're above the playoff line. They remain in 9th. Real Salt Lake sits in 11th place. Maybe a win for RSL could have them jump by San Jose and take 10th, but we need San Jose to lose to make that even possible, but we'll see how they do. Score prediction time, and I think it's going to end in a tie. It just like last year. It won't be 3-3. I'm going to say 2-2. Luciano Acosta will score twice for FC Dallas. And then I expect a goal by Diego Luna, getting a goal. And then our second goal will come from Javier Goso off the bench, because I think Mark Suk will be back in the starting lineup. He's fully recovered from his injuries, so he's ready to go. So goals from Luna and goals for RSL. So that's my prediction, 2-2 final. I'm okay if we tie against FC Dallas. Well guys, that is it. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we get 3 points on the road. We are desperate for 3 points. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can get a big result in Frisco tonight. So hopefully we're in for a good game. Good 90. Thanks again for watching this Matchday preview. Subscribe if you're new. Go follow me on TikTok. I'll be posting a lot of behind the scenes on TikTok, including player ratings, my post-game reaction, and my game day thoughts. And yeah, and I'm doing a lot for the Stanley Cup playoffs as of right now over there as well. So you guys are going to be in for a good time when you go see my videos, because I post quite a bit. But for now, RSL on top. Yeah, thanks for watching.